International News.
Federal Executive Council holds emergency meeting to deliberate on details of the 2016 budget. Federal government stresses commitment towards ensuring Nigeria is self-sufficient in most staple in the next 13 months. Groups canvass support for President Muhammadu Buhari's effort to diversify the economy. Federal High Court sacks Nigeria Football Board. Hello and a warm welcome to our viewers around the world and Nigeria. This is NTA International News, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital, and I'm Rhoda Oppo. President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria cannot afford to ignore the abundant opportunities it can drive for social-economic development through enhanced bilateral cooperation with the People's Republic of China. The president, who stated this while speaking on his forthcoming visit to the Asian country, stressed the belief that his visit to China will go a long way in supporting his administration's drive towards addressing the nation's infrastructure deficit. Less than 24 hours after the submission of the details of the 2016 budget to the President, the Federal Executive Council has held an emergency meeting to discuss it. The meeting is being presided over by the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo. Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, has had a brief chat with State House correspondents on the ongoing meeting.
The 2016 budget from National Assembly yesterday, and an extraordinary meeting of the Federal Reserve Council was called this morning to avail every minister to look at the details of the budget and see how it affects his or her ministry. I must say at this point it's still a work in progress, so there's nothing definitely to say that yes, we've received it, we've studied it, and we'll come out with a statement later. Thank you very much.
Now, the Buhari Media Support Group says President Muhammadu Buhari's administration remains committed to social economic diversification through import substitution and export promotion. The group, in a statement signed by Muhammad Labu, said the President's strategic implementation plan for the 2016 budget articulates a thematic strategies and 33 priority actions which will constitute a short-term priority of the federal government over the next 12 months. They include lasting changes in the policies, national security and governance, diversification of the economy, developing critical infrastructure, and increasing investment in power, rail and roads, as well as oil and gas, amongst others. The Joint Senate and the House of Representatives Committee on Niger Delta and the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has given all companies yet to pay their mandatory annual dues to the Commission 1 week ultimatum to do so. This was at an interactive session between the committee, the NDDC, all companies and other stakeholders. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Ali reports.
The law establishing the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, makes it mandatory for all companies operating in Nigeria to remit 3% of their annual budget to the Commission. Majority of these companies are reported not to have complied with these provisions, which prompted the National Assembly to invite all the oil companies to the interactive session.
We have not paid fully 2014 and 2015. We were ready to reconcile with NDDC and to know what is actually due to us and have a payment plan with them as soon as possible.
The JV company, the TEPNG, has paid up to 2015, excepting 2 months, the last 2 months of 2015.
Consequent upon these findings, the committee issued a one-week ultimatum to defaulting companies to reconcile with the commission and agree on how to pay up.
We have achieved a lot because they have agreed to go and meet with the NDDC to reconcile their accounts, and whether they are shortfall that they will pay the money. And they have all also agreed and accepted the needs to fund NDDC.
I think that it's clearly a big help to us.
The Joint Senate and House of Representatives Committee on Niger Delta Development Commission says it will follow up the issues until all the oil companies comply with the provision and warn that failure will attract sanctions. From the National Assembly, Mohammed Ali, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force says it is developing an in-house robust capacity to tackle the current security challenges confronting the country. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar gave this indication while addressing defense correspondents on the forthcoming reunion of the service. KG Busari Ahmed reports.
Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar went down memory lane on the activities of the Nigerian Air Force since inception, said the NAF Reunion Week, scheduled for next week, would also provide a forum to brainstorm on core professional challenges in the service.
In addition to carrying out activities to fulfill these responsibilities, the Nigerian Air Force has over the years offered aid to civil authorities while maintaining its ability to project air power when called upon to do so.
On the role of the media in the ongoing fight against terror, the Air Chief charged journalists to place the interest of Nigeria as an indivisible entity, far above any other consideration in their reportage.
When a country is at war, everybody is at war, including the media. That is just the message that I think the media needs to appreciate, that in their publication and in their analysis of issues that are going on, they should take into cognizance that as they go about doing their job, they look at our national interests.
The theme of this year's Nigerian Air Force Reunion Week is tagged Reuniting for Enhanced Service Delivery and Operational Effectiveness. KG Busari Ahmed, NTA News.
5 former staff of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital have been arraigned before a federal high court for allegedly defrauding the tune of over 140 million naira. Haman Jabani has details.
They were arraigned before the court by Economic and Financial Crime Commission for fraud, forgery, and diversion of money to the tune of over 140 million naira between 2008 and 2011, when the accused were working with the finance department of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. They were alleged to have obtained money under false pretense for the corpus of the teaching hospital, with the intention to defraud it, masterminded and conceal the payment of monies punishable under Section 1, Subsection 3 of the Advanced Free Fraud and Other Fraud-Related Offences Act No. 14 of 2006.
And the case we have had today, they have been arraigned. There are different cases altogether, been duly arraigned, and the court ordered for them to be remanded in prison custody, pending which the case shall continue.
All the accused pleaded not guilty of all the charges, and the presiding judge, Justice Mohammed Tanko Salihu, denied them bail and directed that they be remanded in prison custody. In Maiduguri, Haman Jabani, NTA News.
Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the clash between the Nigerian Army and the members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria has taken presentations from the Nigerian Army and the Jamaatul Nasr Islam in the ongoing investigation to unravel the causes of the December 2015 incident in Zaria. Austin Ayebam reports.
The Commission decided to take presentations on memoranda submitted before it following a formal report of withdrawal by the Islamic movement in Nigeria. As briefed the Commission by the Counsel to the Commission, Yusuf Ali SAN, the Nigerian Army, who made the first presentation, had 4 senior officers, including the Chief of Administration, Army Headquarters, Major General Adamu Abubakar, General Officer Commanding 1 Division, Major General Orebadi, Acting Provost, Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Ayuba Haman, and Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Sani Kukasheka Usman, they narrated all that happened between 12th and 14th December 2015 between them and the members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, which required the use of minimum force within the Army's rule of engagement. They told the Commission that the casualties were recorded during the Army condon and search operation in the area, with many dying from stampede and fire outbreak following petrol bomb explosion. The leader of the movement, they said, was injured during a crossfire when members of the movement attacked the soldiers, and that he surrendered himself to the army. The Jamaat Nasrul Islam, represented by the Secretary General Dr. Abubakar Khalid and the Director Center for Human Resource Development Mohammed Ali, in their separate presentations described Islamic movement in Nigeria as a state within a state, as they have governors and councillors in the 36 states of the Federation, including FCT. They said the doctrine of the sect is at variance with Islam, saying the movement is heavily funded by Iranian government. JNI expressed worry with their mode of military training, which is seen to violate Section 227 of the Constitution of Nigeria, which provides for the establishment of the armed forces. Presentations continue at the Commission from other parties. In Kaduna, Astudanyebe, NTA News.
Students of the University of Lagos, UNILAG, have staged a protest over the lack of basic amenities on campus. As at the time NTA visited the institution in Akoka, there was heavy police presence. Some of the policemen were injured and their patrol vans smashed. Vera Chinwoba tells us more.
They called it a peaceful protest, but it looked like a hostage situation as some of the students locked their schoolmates into the premises. Desperate students who were willing to go home resorted to jumping fences or wading dangerously through alternative routes. In a letter written to the Niger Police by the UNILAG Senate on the 7th of April 2016, following the current poor state of electricity and water supply to the community, as well as falling supply of fuel, the Senate decided to shut down the university with immediate effect. This situation, the letter states, has affected mostly students living outside the campus. The letter instructed the students to vacate the halls or residences after 10 a.m. Friday 8th of April 2016.
We don't have lights, we don't have water, TST, there is no unit cost. The government center can write it. They were already monopolized the water of a day in our campus. They don't want us as a company. And we know very well that UNILAG are not capable of supplying water enough for all of us to take.
After an interactive session between the students' union representatives and the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Tajuddin Babington Bakari, the students filed out of the campus peacefully. As at the time of filing this report, efforts to speak with the school authority proved abortive. The school will reopen as soon as municipal services improve.
The Presidential Committee on Flood Relief and Rehabilitation in Nigeria has flagged off the distribution of relief materials to the 2015 victims of flood disaster in Kwara State. Abdullahi Elewutu reports that the senior advisor to the governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, on emergency and relief services, Alhaji Duru Muhammad, received the materials on behalf of the state governor.
Items to be distributed include bags of rice, mattresses, zinc, cement, drugs, and mosquito nets, among others. Chairman of the committee, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, represented by Alhaji Gali Umar, said Nigerian government is determined to ensure that victims of flood disaster receive meaningful support from the government. He stressed that 5 local government areas in Kwara State will benefit from the current gesture. The leader of the delegation, Alhaji Gali Umar, enjoined the State Emergency Committee to uphold fairness and truthfulness in the distribution of the relief materials to the beneficiary.
That's why we are here today, to hand over those relief materials, which included food and non-food items, to the State Emergency Management for onward distribution to the affected victims.
The Senior Special Assistant to Kwara State Governor on Emergency and Relief Services, Alhaji Duru Muhammad, appreciated the federal government for the kind gesture.
Kwara State really appreciate you. Really thank you, and we are promising you we'll do justice on these items given to us, inshallah.
He noted that the state government is working round the clock to support the federal government's drive in alleviating the sufferings of the less privileged. In Ilani, Abdullahi Elewetu, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria. We'll take a short break now and we'll be back with more reports in just a moment, so stay with us.
Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the You Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information. NTA International News. Africa as it is.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news on NTA International, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria. The federal government says it will go tough on any company or organization that engages in the production and distribution of fake and substandard seeds and fertilizer to farmers. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Audu Ogbe, who stated this in Abuja, says the government is committed towards ensuring that Nigeria is self-sufficient in most staple in the next 13 months. Musa Babali reports.
The government is optimistic that before the end of 2018, Nigeria will be self-sufficient in rice, maize, millet, wheat, sorghum and soybeans production. This it hopes will be achieved through the supply of high-quality seeds, especially to smallholder farmers who have been contributing largely to the nation's food production.
Improved quality seed is not only the cheapest and basic input of increasing yield, but also fundamental in raising the efficiency of other inputs like fertilizers, like agrochemicals.
The government estimated that the farmers required about 350,000 metric tons of seeds valued at 112 billion naira.
If you are a seed company, label your packaging well with your phone numbers and contact offices. The farmers will be advised to keep them. Should anything go wrong, because we will use them to monitor you, we will come after you. You have to explain.
On the genetic modified seeds, the minister said the government is looking at the possibility of accepting it. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Time now to join Olayin Kaujo with some business news.
Welcome to the business segment of the news. The federal government has commenced payment of debt owed some contractors handling projects since 2009. An indigenous entrepreneur, Patrick Ojo, said this while applauding the decision. Mr. Ojo reiterated that the payment of the debts will enhance the well-being of Nigerians and reactivate over 6,000 abandoned and uncompleted projects in the country.
But since the month of February 2016, they started releasing this fund in bits.
Britain's top share index rose on Friday, helped by buoyant commodity stocks towards another weekly gain. Mining share rose by 2%. Energy share also contributed 11 points to gains, with Shell adding the most points to the index after crude broke back above $40 a barrel. The U.S. ambassador to Ghana, Robert Jackson, says President Obama's Power Africa initiative is investing $497 million to ensure reliable electricity supply in the country. The initiative is designed to boost electricity power supply across the continent. Ambassador Jackson maintained that every effort must be made to radically improve the energy situation. And that does it on this segment.
Now Now talking football, the Federal High Court sacks Nigerian Football Federation Board as Youth and Sports Minister Solomon Dalong inaugurates Sports Reform Committee. Over now to Amanzi Marcus for more on our sports update.
The NFF leadership crisis has resurrected with a Jos Federal High Court nullifying the September 30, 2014 election of executive committee members of the Nigeria Football Federation led by Amaju Pinnick. The court, presided over by Justice Musa Haruna Kuria on Friday, ordered Chris Giwa to resume office as NFF president. Members of the embattled board say they will appeal the judgment. It remains to be seen of what FIFA will say in the days ahead. Meanwhile, a 12-member committee to reform Nigerian sports has been inaugurated with a charge on the members to use their wealth of experience and ensure Nigeria wins in international competitions with a rich reservoir of young talents. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Solomon Dalong hopes Nigerian sports will be administered efficiently as private sector business as he roll out their terms of reference at the Abuja National Stadium on Thursday.
Nigeria is blessed with a large number of self-motivated athletes in all age categories, but there is no platform for them to attain self-fulfillment and fame. This is because there is no systematic way of identifying, recruiting, training, pooling qualified athletes to where they can be deployed for national or international sporting assignments.
Chairman of the committee, Godwin Kienka, is Director of International Tennis Academy, Lagos, and the committee has 90 days to submit its report.
Time now for a quick check on the weather prospect for Saturday in Nigeria and major cities across the world. And that's the weather update there. So there you have it. Wherever you are across the world, make sure you do the needful concerning the weather. And that's it on the news. Thank you for watching. Join us again at 9 o'clock for the network news. I'm Rhoda Obel.